A vegetable? I paid you $200,000 to save my daughter, and you turned her into a vegetable! You did this on purpose. You're getting revenge because of what happened on that plane?
If it weren't for me, your daughter would already be in a body bag.
If you hadn't stalled and schemed and played games, I never would have trusted Hamilton in the first place. This is your fault, and I'm gonna make sure you watch your whole family die because of it. You're dead, Blake! Do you hear me? Dead!
After 48 straight hours in the operating room at Chicago Med, I passed out cold on a red-eye to LAX.
Sir, this flight is oversold. You need to deplane, now.
A woman was being ushered onto the plane by the crew, all smiles and bowed heads.
She gets on, and I, who already boarded, get kicked off? That's Victoria Harrington. Her father owns Harrington Pharmaceuticals. She's rushing to LA for surgery with the Dr. Blake. You can't even afford a full fare ticket, you broke loser. Here's $50. Now get lost.
My bag and I got dumped onto the jet bridge. I watched him turn back to fawn over Victoria, and I smiled. He thought I was some broke nobody who couldn't afford a plane ticket. What he didn't know was that I am Dr. Blake, the same Dr. Blake the Harringtons had been begging for an entire year to finally fly out to LA and perform that surgery. The same Dr. Blake whose pioneering minimally invasive cardiac technique the medical establishment had spent 5 years trying to bury. They kicked me off? Fine. The surgery's off. Victoria Harrington can just go ahead and die.
I need a refund!
Can't refund it.
What do you mean you can't refund it? Your airline oversold the flight. I boarded legally, then got forcibly removed. Now you're telling me you won't refund my ticket?
You chose to get off the plane, that's on you, not the airline. What, you think every passenger who changes their mind gets a free refund? We'd go broke.
Keep your voice down, this is a workplace. I knew it was you. Causing trouble on the plane wasn't enough, now you're harassing our staff on the ground? So that's what I smelled on the plane. Cheap cologne and desperation. You reek of poverty. What, $50 wasn't enough? Now you want the whole fare refund too? Look at this guy, young, able-buddy, and pulling scams on an airline? Unbelievable.
We heard him. He chose to get off. Now he wants money for it? He's clearly insane.
At least the public understands. We in customer service deal with people like this every day. It's fine. We're used to the abuse.
I pushed through the crowd and grabbed a supervisor by the arm.
Write me a refund slip. Make it clear. Oversold flight, forcible denial of boarding, and that's why I'm seeking a refund.
That way, when the Harringtons came calling, they'd know I didn't just flake on them.
Refund? In your dreams. Get him out of here. You're gonna regret this. You're gonna regret this. I'll be waiting for you to beg. Oh, look, a junkie. That explains the grafting. Probably doesn't have long to live anyway. Guys like you, wasting oxygen. Do the world a favor and drop dead already.
The experimental targeted gene therapy inside, the only batch in existence, leaked into a puddle on the floor. The only medication that could get Victoria Harrington through the critical post-op infection window gone. Now she could actually go ahead and die.
I've seen your type before, trying to get Victoria Harrington's attention so you can be her kept man.
Two security guards grabbed me by the arms and threw me out like a bag of trash.
Get lost. Don't contaminate our airport with your presence.
I reached for my phone to call 911, but it was already buzzing like crazy. I answered. Harrington's head of security, Marcus Webb, immediately started screaming.
Where the hell are you? The airline says you demanded to get off the plane? The Harringtons put $10 million into your hospital just to get you here, and you're pulling stunts? Do you have any idea who you're dealing with? We have private doctors on retentor. We only called you because Victoria's case is terminal and you're supposedly the best. Don't you dare get cute with us. If you're not in that OR tonight, I will personally make sure you never practice medicine in this country again. And if anything happens to Miss Harrington, you'll wish you'd never been born.
The line went dead. I took a deep breath and called back.
Stop wasting time and get your ass to LA, now!
I'm not coming. Ask the flight attendant on Victoria's plane why.
I logged into my bank account and wired back the $50,000 deposit the Harringtons had paid me. $50,000 wasn't worth my dignity. I hung up before Marcus could respond, then blocked his number. I looked at the destroyed vials of experimental medication and let out a cold laugh. Victoria Harrington's life? Not my problem anymore. I grabbed a cab back to the hospital.
You harassed Victoria Harrington? The flight attendant said you caused a scene, tried to extort the airline, and made the crew fear for their safety. He had no choice but to remove you. The Harringtons are worth billions. What are you worth? Nothing. You turned down their invitation, and I swear to God, your career is over.
The flight attendant had done a hell of a job spinning the story. And the Harringtons, billionaires who could afford any lawyer, any private investigator, hadn't even bothered to pull the security footage. They just believed the first story they heard. Morrison kept screaming,
Either you get on a plane and do that surgery tonight, or you clean out your desk right now. This hospital afford to piss off the Harringtons, and frankly, we can't afford you.
I didn't say a word. I just found a piece of paper and a pen and wrote out my resignation. 3 years of nonstop surgeries, no real days off, being called in at 2 a.m. to cover for some attending who didn't feel like working. 3 years of watching Morrison and his cronies at the medical board try to bury my research because it threatened their profitable established procedures. I was done.
Are you insane? I yell at you a little and you quit?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm going to Cancun. Tell the Harringtons to come find me if they want me so bad.
Blake, get back here!
I checked my watch. 1 hour had passed since Victoria boarded that plane. Her condition should be hitting its crisis point by now. Without my medication and my technique, that flight wasn't taking her to LA. It was taking her straight to the morgue. I went home, turned off my phone, and collapsed. After 74 hours without sleep, I woke up a full day later, finally feeling like a human being again. Dozens of missed calls, dozens of voicemails. I declined call after call. Finally, on the 15th try, I answered.
Dr. Blake, please get to LA. Victoria Harrington is seizing. She's turning blue. The airline has cleared a private jet for you.
You called me a broke loser who couldn't afford a begging me to fly? Now you're funny how that works.
Shut up! Without the Harringtons leaning on you, you wouldn't even have my number. You're still just...
I hung up, blocked the number. 10 minutes later, someone started pounding on my front door like they were trying to knock it down. I pulled up my doorbell camera and almost laughed. That same flight attendant, plus 3 huge guys with crowbars, was literally prying at my door.
Blake, get out here or we're breaking this door down. I'll tie you up and drag you to the plane if I have to.
The Harringtons must have leaned hard on the airline. My next-door neighbor, I didn't even know her name.
Excuse me, what's going on? What did Dr. Blake do?
He took $100,000 to do a surgery and then ghosted. Now the patient's dying, and he's hiding in his apartment like a coward. He belongs in prison.
The neighbors' faces curdled.
I knew it. He never even helped me with that rash I asked about last month, probably because he's a fraud.
$100,000 and he's too scared to operate? He clearly knows he'd kill the patient.
Break it down! The Harringtons are breathing my neck and I'm not going down alone!
Just as he said it, click, the door swung open. The second I stepped out, a bucket of dirty mop water hit me in the chest. I was pulling out my phone, soaked but still working, to call the cops when heavy, synchronized footsteps echoed down the hall. Marcus Webb, the Harringtons' head of security, walked in pinching his nose like he'd just stepped in something foul. He looked at me like I was a piece of trash just as fast. The flight attendant's face transformed.
Mr. Webb, I was just about to tell you I found him. The surgery will happen tonight. I guarantee it.
Marcus didn't even look at him.
Dr. Blake,
He just pulled a check from his inside pocket.
$100,000 up front. Another $100,000 when the surgery's done. $200,000. More than you'll make in 5 years. Get on the plane. The Harringtons are willing to forget everything that happened.
Gasps rippled through the crowd. Eyes went wide at the check. Even the flight attendant swallowed hard. I took the check, and then I ripped it in half. Then ripped it again. Pieces of paper fluttered to the floor like confetti. Marcus's face went from neutral to murderous in half a second. His voice dropped to ice.
Dr. Blake, don't mistake our generosity for weakness. If you won't come willingly, we have other ways. I heard your daughter goes to Sunshine Kindergarten, Oak Street.
My blood went cold. How the hell did they know about Lily? Marcus saw my face change and smiled.
If you touch my daughter, I swear!
That's entirely up to you, Doctor. If something happens to Miss Harrington, I can't guarantee your daughter won't have a little accident too. Pack his bag. We're leaving.
Wow. The Harringtons ask you to work and you play hard to get? That's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off. What the hell are you laughing at?
Laughing because you have no idea what's about to happen. Even if I go, Victoria will still die. What do you mean?
In the first flicker of fear,
The medication that could get your boss's daughter through the infection window. He stomped it into powder, the only batch of that experimental gene therapy in existence. No medication, no miracle. Not from me, not from anyone.
the flight attendant's face went white.
That's bullshit! There was never any medication. Those were just vitamins.
He was scrambling so hard I almost felt bad for him.
Don't listen to him, Mr. Webb. He's trying to cover for his own incompetence.
Nothing the Harringtons can't find out, right? So go check the footage.
Marcus looked at me, still laughing, then at the flight attendant, who looked like he was about to throw up. Finally, Marcus grunted.
1 dose of medication? We have money. We have resources. We'll find more. Put him in the car.
The bodyguards blindfolded me and shoved me into the back of a black SUV. Three hours later, after they power washed the mop water off me in a loading dock, they pushed me into the ICU. Victoria Harrington, who'd looked like $1 million just yesterday, was gray, barely breathing. When they saw my face, their eyes went wide. Dr. Blake, the Dr. Blake. Thank God, Miss Harrington is going to make it. A man in a $3,000 suit pushed through the crowd. Arthur Harrington, Victoria's father. He didn't say hello. He tossed a blank check at my feet.
Name your price. I'll make you the most famous surgeon in America.
I gritted my teeth.
But if
Classic
she
Harrington.
dies,
Every single one of them was garbage.
You and your whole family will wish you'd never been born.
I looked him dead in the eye and smiled.
With all due respect, sir, you'd be better off spending your money on a nice cemetery plot. Because she doesn't have long.
Did you just curse my daughter? Get his kid, now! Let's see how brave he is when she's in the room.
From down the hall, I heard a little girl start screaming.
You're animals. Can you do the surgery now?
I took a deep breath, pulled out my phone, hit play.
The medication your daughter needed, here's what happened to it.
The video showed the flight attendant smirking, proud of himself, stomping the vials into dust.
I've seen your type before, trying to get Victoria Harrington's attention so you can be her kept man.
Arthur Harrington's head turned slowly toward the flight attendant. The flight attendant dropped to his knees.
Mr. Harrington, please, let me explain.
Crack. One kick. Arthur Harrington wasn't a small man. The flight attendant flew across the room.
It wasn't me! Those weren't real drugs! He's lying!
The flight attendant lay crumpled on the floor, gasping for breath. Then his eyes landed on someone. A tall, distinguished man in an expensive suit. He'd been standing in the corner the whole time, observing. The flight attendant dragged himself across the floor and grabbed the man's leg.
Dr. Hamilton! Dr. Hamilton is the chief medical advisor to the hospital board. He's top 10 nationally in cardiac surgery. He can save Miss Harrington. Blake is a fraud. He's all reputation and no skill. His so-called minimally invasive technique is just a way to cover up his incompetence.
Dr. Hamilton stepped back like the flight attendant was contagious, smoothing his suit jacket, but he didn't say no.
Mr. Harrington, I don't understand why you trust a man who's currently under investigation by the medical board. His paper in the New England Journal of Medicine couldn't survive peer review. There's a reason his technique hasn't been adopted by any major institution. I've handled hundreds of cases like your daughter's. Following the established clinical pathway, I can guarantee a 95% success rate. A surgeon with no institutional backing, no published replication studies, no board certification in 3 of the 5 relevant subspecialties, and he wants to lecture me about cardiac care?
Arthur Harrington's eyes moved between us. On one hand, Dr. Hamilton, Harvard-trained, published in every major journal. On the other hand, me, rumpled, tired. Arthur Harrington made his choice.
Go ahead and get up.
Dr. Hamilton, if you save my daughter, Harrington Pharmaceuticals will fund your research for the next decade. Unlimited budget.
Hamilton allowed himself a small smile.
You won't regret this, Mr. Harrington.
Arthur nodded, then his eyes landed on me.
As for this quag...
He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't have to. Bodyguards grabbed me. As they dragged me out, I watched Hamilton pull out his custom-made surgical kit, the instruments laid out in perfect order on a sterile tray. I looked at Victoria's chart one last time.
Are you insane? Victoria's anatomy is atypical. She has a congenital variation in her coronary vasculature. If you follow the standard protocol, you'll hit an anomalous vessel and she'll hemorrhage on the table.
Use my technique now, and she might have a chance. Otherwise, she's dead in 20 minutes.
Arthur Harrington froze. His eyes flickered between me and Hamilton.
Dr. Blake, spare us the theatricals. Every failed surgeon blames atypical anatomy. The literature doesn't support your approach. The data doesn't support your approach. You have nothing but anecdotes and arrogance.
He walked into the OR without looking back. The bodyguard shoved me into a supply cabinet and locked the door. I didn't pound on it. I didn't scream. I just sat there and watched the clock tick. "23 minutes later, someone started screaming in the hallway. The door to the supply closet burst open. Marcus Webb, the head of security,
Dr. Blake, please.
fell to his knees in front of me and grabbed my legs. Arthur Harrington pushed past.
Dr. Blake, I was wrong. I was a fool. Please, please save my daughter. She's 22 years old. I can't watch her die.
He looked up at me, tears streaming down his face.
You have a daughter, you understand?
I looked past him, past Marcus, down the hallway to the OR.
Idiots.
Victoria Harrington had an anomalous right coronary artery. It was right there in her scans if you knew what to look for. Hamlin tar mange jumming sier de ikke døde. Gammet med at you can.
Hamilton had been too busy being right to look. Arthur Harrington saw Hamilton stumble out, saw the blood, and let out a noise.
Please, I'll give you anything. Anything.
I didn't say a word. I just stood up and walked into the OR. The scene inside made me stop breathing. It didn't look like a surgery.
You absolute moron!
I kicked Hamilton out of the OR and sent him stumbling into the hallway. Then I got to work. I had to improvise. I grabbed the basic kit they had, not what I would have chosen, but enough. And I started cutting. Not the way Hamilton cut, not the way the textbooks said to cut, the way I'd spent 10 years learning. Over. Small incisions, precise angles, following the anatomy, not fighting it, avoiding the main vessels, working through the gaps. Sweat dripped off my face onto Victoria's skin. The situation was 100 times worse than it should have been. The anomalous vessel was shredded. The heart was struggling. I kept working, one suture at a time, one vessel at a time, for 40 minutes, then 60. My legs gave out, and I hit the floor. Harrington's people flooded into the OR. Marcus grabbed me
What about my daughter?
and hauled me halfway off the ground.
She's alive.
Arthur Harrington's face started to lift.
But
The word landed like a gunshot.
she lost too much blood, too many organs went without oxygen, and Hamilton's surgical errors. Without my medication, she'll never wake up.
The room went silent.
What do you mean, never wake up?
Most families choose to pull the plug. The cost isn't sustainable.
Arthur Harrington's face twisted. The hope in his eyes curdled into something else.
A vegetable? I paid you $200,000 to save my daughter, and you turned her into a vegetable! You did this on purpose. You're getting revenge because of what happened on that plane?
If it weren't for me, your daughter would already be in a body bag.
If you hadn't stalled and schemed and played games, I never would have trusted Hamilton in the first place. This is your fault, and I'm going to make sure you watch your whole family die because of it.
You're dead, Blake. Do you hear me? Dead. I told you, and you made that choice, not me.
$100,000 fees. Patient brain dead. The bots flooded every comment section. This is why people hate doctors. Greedy, arrogant, murderous. My parents, living in a small town 3 hours away, got egged going to the grocery store. Marcus called me just to gloat.
Dr. Blake, this is what happens when you cross the Harringtons. And we're just getting started. Tell your mom to pick out a nice plot for you. You're going to need it.
Did they really think I hadn't prepared for this? I logged into my Twitter account, the notifications were crashed, the app was barely functional, and I started posting. The recording from the plane, the airport security footage, the OR records showing Hamilton's error, and the recording of Arthur Harrington threatening to kill my family. The internet broke. The second the evidence went live, the entire country lost its mind. Within an hour, the airline was drowning in refund requests. Their cash flow froze. Stock price? Free fall. $1 billion in market cap, gone. The airline tried to stay quiet. Then they panic-fired the flight attendant and his father, a vice president.
I want to sincerely apologize to Dr. Blake, to the passengers, to everyone I hurt.
They dug up everything. Workplace harassment, passenger complaints, records of him threatening coworkers. The Harringtons? Their products got pulled from every major retailer. Customer boycotts spread like wildfire. $1 billion pharmaceutical empire, gone in less than 60 minutes.
Harrington
and then the twist no one saw coming.
$1 billion empire gone in 60 minutes.
The Journal of the American Medical Association tweeted, "Not a statement, a retraction of their previous position. Then Johns Hopkins tweeted, "We are pleased to announce that Dr. Blake has accepted a position as Director of Innovative Cardiac Surgery at Johns Hopkins Hospital. He will begin next month." My DMs went from death threats to apologies. Then my phone rang. It was my father's number.
"Dr. Blake, I'll admit you're clever, hiding your family like that.
Don't listen to him, son!
But I told you, the Harringtons find everything."
Call the police, baby!
Dr. Blake, I know about the compound. The one your family developed, the one the Harringtons were trying to reverse engineer before all this started. Give it to us. Give it to Victoria, and the Harringtons will let your family live.
1 hour. If I don't have that compound in my hand, I'll send you a video of your parents and your daughter saying goodbye. Permanently.
I almost laughed. They had no idea what they were asking for.